Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. Some have wondered, in light of Ripple's remarkable pre-IPO share price increase, if possibly the SEC case against the company has been resolved. Some people think that might happen. Before I tell you what I think, though, I'll give you the headline from the Crypto Basics on the subject. It's Ben Armstrong they're discussing. Bitboy discovers a 60% increase in the private share price of Ripple, which may indicate legal success. It's also fascinating to observe this phenomenon concurrent with, albeit not an exact overlap with, the incredible price activity for XRP in particular. XRP's price increase in recent weeks stands in stark contrast to Bitcoin's and the cryptocurrency industry as a whole. But before we go any further, I should state that I have zero experience in the financial sector. Nothing I say or write should be taken as recommendations to purchase or sell any security. Just a hobbyist here that occasionally posts films to YouTube on various crypto-related topics. The current price of XRP, at the time this video was made, is 53 cents. And here I have a chart for the next week laid out for you. The SEC's filing of lawsuits against cryptocurrency exchanges Binance and Coinbase this week has been devastating for the industry as a whole. Those of you with your eyes on your screens can see what I'm circling here. The price of XRP dropped, but it was due to actions taken by the SEC. But before we get to that, I'll pull up a 30-day pricing chart so you can see what's been happening. The rising trend has been consistent. Additionally, this is not how the majority of cryptocurrency 30-day charts appear right now. I've been saying it for a while now. I tweeted the following earlier today, because I believe the reason for this trend is that people are overly optimistic about the outcome of this particular case. After all the significant attacks on crypto this week by the SEC, I found it fascinating to watch XRP maintain its position near 54 cents. That's a big vote of faith from the XRP community that Judge Torres will make the right call. And I believe it to be true. I believe that individuals, meaning most of you listening right now, are the major driver, by a great degree, of the positive price activity in XRP. Even if Ripple officially loses in terms of achieving that certainty for XRP, I think most of us will remain positive. If you can explain the uptick in optimism to me, I'll believe that most of us are truly optimistic about the outcome of this situation. Then, when everything else in crypto is booming. However, XRP has been on fire in the last week or so, outperforming nearly every other cryptocurrency. Yeah. That's a huge vote of confidence from XP owners all throughout the world. But it is interesting in its own way. Interesting. I also feel that most people, if we are talking about normal retail speculators, tend to follow the lead of others when it comes to investing. Customers are like little lemmings when it comes to shopping. Can you fathom how many people all around the world will suddenly decide to invest in XRP if the news turns out to be good for XRP in particular? That's why I sent another letter shortly afterward. I don't think Ripple requires a technical win in order to see a positive response in the price of XRP, especially in regards to secondary market transactions, as long as crypto market participants consider the outcome as something allowing XRP to exist. In the United States, you need to meet the requirements for an accredited investor, which are a net worth of at least $1 million, not counting your primary residence, and or an annual income, for a single person, of at least $200,000 in the previous 2 years. And this year, your third year, you need to be on track to accomplish that. That means almost nobody in the United States can afford to buy anything. But, and I love to complain loudly about this, because I believe it's ridiculous that daddy government considers you to be too foolish to handle your own finances. Intriguing, maybe, but some folks just can't be helped by their own stupidity. True story. On the other hand, you don't want to take any chances with me. Just because some individuals are foolish doesn't justify taking freedom away from those who aren't. Let people make their own investing decisions based on the information you provide them, after which you should have sufficient disclosures. The administration, however, is not too enthusiastic about this. However, legitimate investors should be encouraged. I mean it when I say that they are not to blame for this predicament. But yeah, it seems like there was a huge rise in the price of pre-IPO shares of Ripple, the company, and I'll tell you even before delving into this thing that it's just my perspective. My hunch is that even this pricing for Ripple is grossly low, and this is not financial advice. That's what I think, at least. Ripple's private shares spike on links showing insider knowledge, but in any case, the story runs as follows. Crypto activist Bitboy unveils explosive insights on the Ripple lawsuit. Ben Armstrong, better known as Bitboy Crypto, is a well-known crypto influencer who recently released a video on YouTube in which he discussed the current Ripple litigation and its potential ramifications for investors. And he tweeted, "I've just learned about a massive discovery that could spell doom for the long-standing SEC. A case against Ripple." In this video, I break down the situation and explain what this means for XRP. While stating that Ripple's case with US regulatory has already been determined based on insider information, Armstrong highlighted to an important development regarding Ripple's private shares on Link 2, and clearly it's a broken sentence when it comes to crypto media. Because they are a bunch of slackers, instead of writing US regulatory agency, they wrote us regulatory. What exactly does that mean for American rules making? Alright, that's fine. Hey, you guys in C class, I really care about you. In any case, the ceasefire holds. Notably, Link 2 is a venue whereby potential shareholders can acquire a company's stock prior to its IPO. Bitboy claims that through the purchase of stock options from former advisors and company team members, Link 2 has already acquired private equity shares of Ripple. I'll pause here to mention something that's probably common knowledge. For a sum now, Link 2 has been selling shares in Ripple, the firm. I'm not sure how long this has been going on, but I know that I've addressed it whenever it's been relevant to the discussion of Ripple, XRP, and other cryptocurrency news. He cited precedents where investors were allowed to buy private shares of well-known businesses like Coinbase, Robinhood, and SoFi before they went public. Yes, it is so, and you're right. Countless varieties exist. Accredited investors, defined as those with a higher net worth or income than most people in the United States, have had access to a wide range of previously unavailable investment possibilities, including pre-IPO offerings. It's all there is to it. If you're one of these folks, you can buy shares before they go public at a discount. This is because the IPO price is likely to be higher than the current share price. However, those without means are denied this economic chance. We are still at peace. Screenshots of Ripple's recent amazing surge in share price within just 1 week were published by Bitboy, who obtained them from Joey Swole, a TikTok user knowledgeable with private share values. The price of a private share of Ripple on Link 2 increased from $35 on June 1st to $56 today. Within a week, this represented an increase of 60%. Yes. So, I'll pause to point out that I did, in fact, address that in a different video, albeit in the context of a completely other subject. If you saw the video, you'll remember that I was discussing what I think a fair price for Ripple the firm would be. I made a mental note that at the time it was advertised for around $35. So, by rounding up to the nearest dollar, $56 became $63. Still, that's quite a leap of logic. The accredited investors who are buying Ripple at this URL appear to be treating XRP in the same way as investors throughout the world are. They believe that the present value is grossly inadequate, and that its potential future value is enormous. And I must confess that I share your outlook. Everything here is, in my opinion, grossly discounted. Even if Judge Torres rules against us, the market could still react disastrously. That is a possibility, in my opinion. That could be a catastrophe, at least in the short term, but I have faith that a higher court could resolve the issue. But man, I really pray it doesn't come to that, since what you're talking about might not happen for a while yet. The time required is unknown. You've seen that this investigation has dragged on for nearly 2.5 years. It hasn't even been started yet. Anyway, the peace army is here, right? That caused a valuation increase from $5.7 billion to $9 billion for the entire ripple effect. An investor confirmed yesterday that the share price increased to $63 yesterday, which was reflected in a screenshot from Bitboy. So, whether we're talking about $5.7 billion or the recent uptick to $9 billion, the point stands. Nothing, in my opinion. Don't be surprised to see Ripple, the firm, valued at over $100 billion. If anything, that's even lower than that. I can't say for sure. I won't speculate on the future. I won't risk being wrong by making a forecast. But I just think that the current state of affairs makes it a no-brainer conclusion that everything is going to be worth a lot more in the future, whether you're talking about Ripple stock or XRP specifically, unless things go disastrously in court. Also, under this main topic, the SEC case was resolved favorably. And now we enter the realm of supposition. Given the recent harsh steps taken by US regulators against large exchanges, the crypto influencer stated that these price moves are very relevant. So, yeah, I totally agree with you there. Because it's so astounding, I've pointed it out several times recently. In spite of the SEC's best efforts to stamp out the cryptocurrency industry, demand for Ripple's XRP and pre-IPO shares remains high. The rest of the piece. He posited that two outcomes could explain the recent spike in Ripple's private share price. Either Coinbase will relist XRP or Ripple will have a successful resolution in the ongoing SEC action, based on information not yet made public. That's okay. Now comes the exciting part of speculating about what might happen. Also, please share your thoughts with me in the comments. I'm going to share my thoughts with you. There has been speculation that the recent rise in the price of XRP is due to either the imminent relisting of the cryptocurrency on Coinbase or the possession of favorable news about the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit by anonymous insiders. To be honest, I'm not convinced about that. There has been encouraging news recently, and I believe that's why people are placing their bets, which can be traced all the way back to March. When Judge Torres ruled on the Daubert motions, we saw that this is where the expert witness comes in. The XRP price started to rise. You also saw that price started rising higher after the verdict on the Hinman thing. Bets are being made at this location. On or around June 13th, you may expect to see the release of the Hinman materials. After then, it's almost certain that the case will be closed. That's probably what's causing your perceptions to be the way they are. I think that sums up the situation nicely. As for the possibility of there being insider knowledge, well, if there is insider information, then normally only a small number of people would be aware of such, and those people would use the information to their advantage by acting dishonestly and hoping not to get caught. Right. But they don't broadcast the news to the entire world, which would cause XRP's price to fluctuate dramatically around the world or, in the case of Ripple, to increase dramatically, by as much as 60%, according to this story. I have no idea how loud linked to is, to be honest. What I don't know is the volume of Ripple pre-IPO shares or how quickly they may be linked. So long as it's not very liquid and has almost no volume, we can talk. Again, if that were the case and word got out to the point where everybody knows it and then it's just going, why haven't we heard it? But if that's not the case, I just find it extremely hard to believe. Where is the real news coming from, and why have we not heard it? So, I must confess that I have my doubts about it. In any case, I find this to be a really encouraging development. Please share your opinions with me. That's just the lowly opinion of one guy. However, I would be pleased to be wrong if evidence emerged to the contrary. I just can't believe that's the case. In my opinion, everyone is just hedging their bets until the final, definitive choice is made. Even if Ripple loses, which is more likely than XRP not having a favorable outcome in my opinion anyway, even if Ripple loses on some technicality, I don't think that's something that's going to destroy the company, and I'm not the only one who thinks this will be very good for XRP specifically, and probably good for Ripple. No way is this a rip-off, right? No allegations of fraud are being made by SEC. So what happens if, in theory, Ripple loses? After paying the fee, everything with XRP is okay. I've always stated that if the SEC is going to have any success going after Ripples, it'll be due of their attack on HODL transactions, which they did effectively. Exchanges of XRP. I believe they put a halt to programmatic sales in 2019. Those would be the easiest to convince a judge or jury constitute a security because they involve specific transactions that can be easily identified. That's trickier to do with HODL, though, as it's obvious that it's meant only for practical uses. However, I cannot say whether or not they would be judged to pass the Howey test if they resumed programmatic sales, which they discontinued years ago. I'm just saying that if you're the SEC, you'd have an easier time making that case. That's the main reason I've been studying it. I've been told to stop talking now, so I will. I don't claim to be a financial expert. Nothing I say or write should influence any transactions you make. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you in the next video. Bye.